In studio, we have Reverend Dr. Elias Otieno Agola. He is the chairman, National Council of Churches of Kenya. Rev,
yes.
Which is your favorite team as far as football is concerned? Whether it's Kenyan, Ugandan, EPL, whether it's German, any?
You must be biased because you are not asking me to greet my listeners and my viewers.
Okay, greet them. then you tell us your team.
I greet you all wherever you are, and I'm happy to be here once again. Thank you very much for tuning, and we are here at Radio Generation.
Yes.
To be in this conversation where we are going to handle issues.
Yes.
I'm not sure football is an issue on my side,
yes.
But I was not prepared to come and talk about it.
Football.
Sorry. I watch football as and when I'm available. I'm not a great fan.
Yes.
But I always support the team that plays well, not a particular team.
So when you're watching and you realize the team in blue is playing well, that's
yes,
the team you'll support.
That's the team I'm supporting. I'm not sure why you asked me about football.
Yes.
Is my name betraying me?
I mean, a lot of people who have actually these names, Otieno na Agola, amazing footballers. But welcome to the station once again.
Bob Agola is not related to me. Thank you.
I had to confirm.
Asante.
Lakini karibu tena sana to Radio Generation. It's a pleasure to host you again.
Yes.
The last time you were here, we had a very interesting conversation, and you spewed a lot of wisdom as far as religion is concerned and the issues of the day were concerned. Nakumbuka tuliongelea maandamano pia, and you had a few good things, actually a lot of good things to say about the youth and how they carry themselves, and more or less the politics of this country. You know, people look at religious leaders and they think that you have to have a certain view of politics or a certain view from a religious perspective, but you put it as it was, as far as the Reverend was concerned, not necessarily as a religious leader, but as an individual and as a Kenyan. And that's what I hope today we shall also discuss as we talk about the fight against corruption, and how we can have action actually versus words. We see a lot of talk in town, but nothing is being done. However, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at today's newspapers. They're talking about how actually even from yesterday, the president has said that people who are corrupt as far as SHA is concerned, and I'm assuming he's talking about corruption as a whole in the country, something needs to be done. And this morning we can see that yesterday, the CS for Education, the CS for Health, Aden Duale, the CEO of SHA and the chairman of SHA, actually presented some sort of evidence to DCI. What do you have to say about those kinds of, I want to call them progress as far as the fight against corruption is concerned?
Thank you very much. I know that corruption has been talked about, has been handled, institutions created, and so many things have gone into the identification of corruption as a vice in this country, and institutions created to help us know the magnitude of it, and also to look for ways of settling into a country that is corruption free. Many charters have been written. If you go to offices, you see all that. And the fight continues. There are confessions that have been made even by the head of states that corruption is taking a huge amount of money that if you multiply per month is greater than what we get as the revenue from taxes and levies. But the same people who are talking about this, the same people who hold the power to just take a step and have this thing dealt with once and for all. And so these confessions, papers that are being generated by the people who are supposed to fight this are the same people who go to defend their papers that is defending the people that they have mentioned to shame. They cannot shame them. They cannot take them to book. They cannot do anything. They are the ones who corrupt the files. I would want to say that just saying it is one thing, but now doing it is another. You cannot show us papers just for news. You here in this room and in this country, you know that there is no news that lives for more than 3 days. No news. If I called you a dog, somebody will come to you and say, if I called you a puppy, somebody will come and say, come to you and ask you, Reverend has called you
A dog, a puppy.
a puppy. Then you say, he's a dog. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then you write, a Reverend called him a puppy, he called him
A dog.
a dog. Then you come to me and I will say, I have no comment. That news is dead. Is that not what happens?
Yes, it is.
So giving us a paper and waving it and showing it to the media and saying, I have this paper, it has these names and all that, is news for that day.
Yeah.
After that, it
What
dies.
happens? Yeah.
It dies. Whether it was taken to court or not, we will never hear people who are booked because it is something that people have not been intentional to fight. And when you create institutions like EACC and you don't empower them, or they give you files that they have already investigated, and those files don't see the light of the day because the office of the OPP cannot move with it because they have instructions. We are saying it is not just okay to say I'm fighting it. We need to see your claws. Can you remove your claws so that we don't just see your thumb? If you have makucha, let makucha come. And so the fight for or the fight against corruption
Yes.
is not just words, it's not just statements, it's not just rhetorics. It is supposed to be something that somebody means and somebody has intentions to fight.
People say that our current president, during his campaign, there wasn't really much talk about how he's going to tackle corruption. To be honest, I wasn't really following up on his campaign, so I wouldn't really know that at any one point he spoke about how he's going to fight corruption.
He did.
He did?
He did. Spoke
All right.
about it at great length.
Okay. So now we are seeing him 3 years into his presidency that something is actually getting done. And even after he spoke about it, like he literally said, those people involved in Shah must do what? They must face the consequences. They must face the music and so on and so forth. And now we are seeing it. And you're saying that perhaps it just needs to go beyond words and rhetoric. We actually need to see action, like proper action.
Yeah.
So according to you, what do you expect to see going forward? Now that tumeona makarasi yamepewa DCI, are you expecting to see people being arrested? Are you expecting to see court cases? Or, like, in your opinion, what do you want? What would you like to see?
In my opinion, I'm suspicious of every move by anybody who is in politics.
Okay.
And my suspicion is that there must be something huge that somebody is running away from and distracting people from, so that we turn our heads towards who is talking and run away from what is happening. I'm not going to just board because somebody has mentioned some things. We've had all this for many years, but I am suspicious that there is something huge that is happening, which is the reason for this mention.
All right. When you say something huge, like what?
Something huge that is against Kenyans that is going on.
All
I
right.
can't quite say it is this one, but somebody I think may come here and say I was right.
Okay.
Why? Because there are a lot of realignments that are going on. There are people that have been there long enough around some people, and they have to be removed. How do you remove them? You create a story, you create a narrative.
Oh.
And that narrative will now be the script that everybody is reading from, and everybody is role playing. And I don't think that Kenyans are supposed to be taken for a ride.
So
We have huge things that we need to talk about.
So, Reverend, what you're saying is that perhaps this drama is being created so that someone can be moved out of the way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. And it is all about the institutions that are already there. Maybe something is cooking in Parliament. Why now it is turning to why is it now turning to Shah? The other day it was Parliament, then
Judiciary. Now Shah.
In fact, it started with the judiciary. Judiciary is corrupt. That is an independent institution, an arm of the government. Okay? And somebody wants that out of his way. Then now, another thing is now the Parliament. Parliament is corrupt.
Okay.
And it's like, who is this that is corrupt in Parliament? Why are you not mentioning them? How did they get corrupt? What is the magnitude of that corruption?
How did you know?
How did you know they are that corrupt, and why now? Why are you mentioning it now? I'm not in any way saying Parliament cannot be corrupt. Judiciary cannot be corrupt. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying when you are raising it, and you are the one who has the Constitution, all the laws, and you also have the sword. You have the correction centers. Why don't you take them there? Who has been picked and taken there? I'm only saying don't distract us from the key issues that are affecting this country. And the executive should cease from doing that, because it is like going to be a pattern. Now it is this, now it is this, tomorrow it is this. And then you say, my own creation. This thing was just created the other day, Shah. And if in Shah there are people who are indeed corrupt and are siphoning money, the public money, then this is something that has just been created. Why did you leave that loophole where people can just siphon money within that short time? Billions are gone.
It's interesting you're saying this, because at one point I had a similar point of view, because I was saying there's a lot that is happening right now, and we are being told, and we are seeing the president pointing fingers at people, and we could almost tell that perhaps, yes, the president or people in the executive or the people that have the powers actually want certain individuals out of the way. And that is why we start pointing fingers at the church, for example. Then we narrow it down to NCCK. Then we narrow it down to the chairman. Then now we say, you see, it's Reverend Agola tulikuwa tunataka, na kumbe ndiye alikuanga anafanya hii kitu. But there's also other quarters that have, there are other people in also who have got this point of view that perhaps there's pressure coming from the international community on our government. They are probably telling the president, look, certain things need to happen in your country because you owe us either the loans that we have from them, or perhaps there are favors we are seeking from them, and they're saying, before we deliver on these promises or on these favors, you need to take care of this corruption issue. It's just too much. We're not going to give you money then to scale ilipotea kwa Shama, ilipotea kwa e-citizen, ama ilipotea God knows where else. And that is why the president is like, okay, you people need to see action, I will show you action. That's now we are seeing right now as far as headlines are concerned. What are your thoughts on that?
You are now beginning to come to my side.
Okay.
Where my viewpoint is that there is something cooking, either internationally or nationally, or maybe in a particular arm of government, and somebody somewhere has to appear to be doing something.
Right.
And yes, we have had a lot of these rhetorics, a lot of mentions of statements. We have had a lot of them. What we in Kenya would want to see is action. We would not want to hear these same stories. We had them during Ringera time. We had them during PLO time at ESCC.
ESCC, yes.
We had them during the many that have occupied that seat, and we are hearing them now, even when our own Reverend Dr. Oginde is there.
Yes.
We are still hearing these things. But you go there, you will hear that even when they are appear to have a lot of knowledge gained through their investigation about a particular issue, still there are some roadblocks. There are people who stop them. And yes, if there is pressure that you have to appear to be fighting corruption,
Yes.
that may be a pressure.
Yeah.
But for us, where we sit as leaders in this country,
Right.
we have to let people know that we are sick and tired of these rhetorics. We would want to see action. We would want to see action. Wherever there is corruption and it is proven, something should be done, not said. Saying we have said it for so many years, and Kenya is one of the countries that can move very fast, very, very fast. In fact, if you look around and you see the buildings, especially here where we are,
Yes.
you can see that these single houses have now turned into skyscrapers. We are soon getting to places, to levels of South Korea. I was there. South Korea got independence the same time we got independence, and that was 1963. So we are age mates. If you see the photo of South Korea, the same location, like Kibera,
Yeah.
in 1963, Kenya still looks the same or even more ugly. But when you go to South Korea, it is not just houses that have sprouted.
Yeah.
They have all the amenities, the hospitals, the schools, the playgrounds.
And they're also heavily industrialized.
And they are heavily industrialized. South Korea does not have a single tree for coffee. But they are exporters of coffee.
Is that so?
Yes. You can Google there.
Germany also doesn't have a leaf of tea or coffee.
Yes.
They are a major exporter of tea and coffee.
They are major exporters.
Not one bush. Not one.
Not one bush of coffee. But they take coffee from here. They go. They add value to it. They process it. I have coffee which I can give you. I think it is in my bag.
Utanipea.
Yeah, nitakupatia sahi. Coffee from Korea,
Yes.
which I took. It is sugared. It is coffee. It is nice. And I was told it is Kenyan coffee.
So they take it from us.
Take it from here,
Go and
process it, add value to it,
Sell it at a
becomes
premium.
something. Corruption is killing us.
Reverend, there's something that the youth were agitating for during maandamano za kutoka last year up until this year.
Yeah.
And one of them was corruption.
Yeah.
They spoke about, impunity and corruption. Those are twins. They also spoke about the economy. Wanataka maisha yao ikuwe sawa sawa and so on and so forth. And up until Sabasaba and the 25th maandamano, that's when we saw like a lot of Kenyan youths dying for these same things that now we are starting to see. And I'm saying starting to see because I feel like there's something the president is gearing towards. For example, he has started with corruption. Perhaps are we going to see people being jailed for these kinds of corruptions and now other economic issues? He might now start, because he's also gearing towards 2027 election period, campaign period. Do you think that kwa kweli sasa maybe ametusikiza? And apart from the international pressure that we are talking about, or the people that he wants to get out of the way, assuming that it is people that he wants to get out of the way, could it be just one of those driving forces towards a certain goal in 2027 also?
All the things that the agencies were raising,
yes,
the president is clever enough and he's handling them. His only problem, which I always say, is that he's doing the work of the managers. is a leader. When you are a leader, you are at the vision position. Leadership is vision, showing us what you'd want to see and where you'd want us to go. Hand over that vision to the administrators.
The managers.
The administrators first.
Okay.
Who will give it the structure. Who will show you what fits where.
Okay.
Who will do the programming. Then give us now give it over to the managers, who are many. We are not in deficit of managers in this country and in any other country. I just mentioned Korea, for example. When I was in South Korea, we went to the Blue House, which is the same as our State House.
Okay.
It was for public entry. Yeah?
That is where the president is, but everyone is allowed.
That is where the president is, but everyone is allowed.
Okay.
Including us who are visitors. We went in there. We even went to the residence of the president.
Allah?
Yes.
You went to the sitting room?
The sitting room, we did not go to the bedroom.
Okay.
But we went to the sitting room, the boardroom, all those offices that are there. They are public places. Now, let me shock you. The president was impeached. So there was no president in State House.
In the Blue House.
In the Blue House. There was no president in the presidential official residence. He was not there. The country was running. So who is this that was running the country? It was not the president, he was not there. So who was running the country? We have to allow our institutions to work. The youths, the Gen Zs, are calling on us to allow institutions to work. Let us remain at the leadership where we have already said this is where we want to go. What did President Kibaki do? He gave us Vision 2030. How old was he when he gave us that? He was 70 years. Just Google. And when is 2030?
In 5 years' time.
Do you think he knew he was going to be alive that time? If you have a vision that is this small, then you would want to implement it. But if you have a vision that is huge,
beyond you,
then you have to allow other institutions to
perform their
tasks, whether the task of administration or the task of management, so that this is realized. But with corruption in our hands, we cannot allow institutions to work. We are calling on ourselves as leaders in this country to allow institutions to work, so that when I'm not there, the institution will not die with me. And I should not at any time think that when I'm on this seat, when I'm away of this seat, the seat cannot work. No, the institution should continue. Let me just give you an example.
Yes.
I was scheduled to come here at 8. And I came here before 8. And
an hour early, actually more than an hour early.
And I met a crisis here. But the institution that is working would fix me into the program, so that the programs do not stop.
Yeah.
Why do you think that without you, the country cannot move? This radio station cannot move. NCCK cannot move. The institutions are there to serve us, and the people that are there in those institutions only serve for the public good. But corruption will not allow that.
Yeah.
That is why somebody who is also defending corruption would talk like this CS was talking the other time, very arrogantly. You are serving Kenyans, my friend. Do not be arrogant to the people who gave you the work. Do not bite the finger that is feeding you.
You know, Reverend, the role of religious organizations let me speak about Christian organizations because I understand them better. But even Islam, the role of religious leaders and the understanding of what an upright leadership ought to be is actually very clear. And what ought to be done with regards to leaders who are unjust. Because when it's unjust, the hallmarks and the indications are not difficult to figure out. You'll find that the poor are oppressed. You don't even need to look.
Yeah.
You'll find that there is unjust rulership over the people. There are many portions of the Bible that speaks about it, but Psalm 82 speaks very, very clearly about this. But there is something about the evolution of the African leader which actually goes against what it is that the leadership in a country like the one the Reverend is mentioning one sees, and even Singapore. Let me ask the question. How many of you know of a gentleman by the name of Goh Keng Swee?
I've never heard of him.
Goh Keng Swee is the gentleman who was the chief architect of Singapore's economic strategy. How many have heard of S. Rajaratnam? Have you ever heard of such a person?
Not at all.
This is the first foreign minister of Singapore. Have you heard of To Chin Chue? No.
To Chin Chue.
What am I saying? People talk of Lee Kuan Yew.
Yeah.
He was the first among equals, but he came with people who had the same vision as him. And they occupied positions, and they took charge of these positions, and they ran with it. Then they made sure they got a civil service that is being spoken of, who are almost incorruptible. So it doesn't matter who was in charge.
It doesn't matter.
It did not matter because the president and the executive don't run the country. It's a civil service that runs the country.
Sure. The managers.
They're the ones who run the country.
Yeah.
And that's why governments don't move them around even if the political leadership changes.
Sure.
They run the country. Now, if you have a situation where the leader is everything, that system is going to fail.
It must fail.
That it is definitely going to fail.
Bound to fail.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it is going to. It's not even bound to. The reason is this. You can't do everything. There are people who have strengths which you don't have. And leadership exploits those strengths. You find people who are good at this, you give them the job. If you look at the city of Singapore, it is the same. There will be a leader who stands out, the vision bearer. But that vision is shared by the people whom he works with. So believe me, even if that person is not there, that system just continues moving. This is something that we don't seem to understand when we keep giving examples of Singapore or give examples of Malaysia.
How then did we get there? Here, let me say here, because why is it that when you look at Asian countries who probably went through something similar, Singapore, Malaysia, those guys are doing way better than us, probably even at par with their peers, Japan
Africa,
and
yeah.
China.
They are developed countries.
Yes, yet they started as third world countries. Is it because of our culture as Africans? Is it because of the leadership we got?
What culture, bro?
Ndio nataka kujua.
Do you know?
Because it can't be that, I'm sorry, Reverend, but
Yeah.
it can't be that when we go to Singapore, we find clean streets. We go to Japan, clean streets.
Excellence.
Exactly. We go to China, clean streets. We go to Malaysia, clean streets. But we come to Kampala, takataka. Nairobi, takataka. Mogadishu, okay, sijakuwa Mogadishu sijui. But you get where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Why is it? Why that disparity?
You know, I've not been to Malaysia. I've not been to Singapore.
Yeah.
I've read about them. But I've been to South Korea.
Yes.
It was not until the 5th president that they said never again. The 5th. And that was what was in Kenyans' minds when they elected our current president. And I want to shock you
Yes.
that he went to South Korea. I have evidence because I walked.
He did.
He went to South Korea. And he was taken through what is called the mindset approach. You're asking what is killing us? Mindset. Because we believe that when I come here, you should pay me. We believe that when I do something, you should pay me. By the way, before I forget,
Yes.
do you know that the Kenyan shilling is stronger than the South Korean one?
Really? I
Yes,
didn't know that.
100 times.
Oh,
One Kenya shilling is equal to 100
South Korean.
South Korean one.
Mm.
I see Muga wants to Google
Confirm.
that. Yeah.
I'm not Googling it because I know it is true.
You know it is true.
Yes.
I was shocked. With all this, and our currency is still stronger, then what is wrong with our currency?
Yeah.
Let's narrow it down to where the rain started beating us. When we have a mindset that I have to steal, that I have to do scrupulous behavior so that I get whatever, that somebody gets out of the university today and is corrupt, and you see what happens. Yesterday there was a photo,
Yep.
not a photo, a video, a clip of a vehicle that was moving along Thika Road, I think, and you know, the conductor was swinging on the air.
Yes.
Later, I heard that was matatu was touched. This morning, as we were coming, a matatu intimidating us on the road with funny noises like in hell, and here intimidating everybody.
Yeah.
And I asked, and even the number plate of that matatu is not a Kenyan number plate.
Yeah.
It is written Sijui Desi Lady something.
Where?
Yeah?
Okay.
Something Lesi Dedi. Can you imagine the amount of filth that we have as a result of corruption? And there was a police officer around there saying nothing, doing nothing, just stretched their hand. And I don't know why they did not stretch their hand to greet me.
Yeah.
But they greeted somebody from that matatu.
They were receiving something.
I am not sure.
They received a token.
Oh, you know.
That is what happens.
So if that is what happens, can you imagine? In the public glare of everybody, we have to have a mindset that says, never again will we have a country like that. I would want to say, fighting corruption begins with me. It begins with you. Naming corruption with sweet names. Chai, sahi nimeletewa chai hapa. Is this corruption?
No.
If it was corruption, you'd have given me something else.
Yeah.
But here, let chai be chai. Let chai not be corruption.
Siku hizi inaitangwa chai, inaitwa lunch.
Lunch, mkono wa kalamu, sijui inaitwa sijui nini. Baptized in many ways. But I would want to say that Kenyans, if we are able to stand for the truth in this country, things will work. Look at what happened when President Kibaki took office in 2002.
2002.
It was 2003 because the elections were in December. Yeah?
Yeah.
Am I right?
You're right, but the election was in 2002 and he won it in 2002. That's why we're referring to 2002.
So when did he get to the office? That's what I'm referring to.
Then you are absolutely correct.
It was 2003.
Okay.
What happened when that happened? You'd go to a police station and you'll be served. You'll walk in. That was the very first time, you know, passengers had their seats on. I mean, seat belts. Look at some of the managers, as you put it, Muga, that the country is not run by the people at the top. Those are policy people. The country is run by the civil service. The country is run by people of the same mindset. If we can empower them, if we can allow them to do their work, we'll not be making headlines that the president has said, can we now fight corruption? Is that news? How is that news?
We were just talking about hospitals in the first hour, and one of the things I pointed out is the fact that first of all, the government wants to, not government but parliament through Kimani Ichung'wah, they want to introduce this rating system where Kenyans can rate a hospital and say, so I want to Pumwani, and the service was excellent and then I give them, let's say, like a 5-star rating. That means that's a very good rating. And now we're talking about civil servants running the country. Do you think that perhaps Kenyans, civil servants to be precise, have, I don't know the word to use here, but do you think that we can be like the civil servants of South Korea, for instance?
But we have been there, my friend.
I don't know, what civil servants of Korea wanachukuanga chai?
We have been exactly where South Korea is.
Do they take tea in 2025? Do they accept bribes?
No, maybe you haven't understood what I'm saying. There is a time in our history when we were exactly what we are saying.
Yeah.
You could not bribe a policeman. You could not bribe a civil servant. People did their jobs. We have been there. We seem to be a nation that thrives in regressing. There are things that people we had before them.
Yeah.
You've heard me say in this very show, the East African community was way ahead of the EU.
That's true.
If you're old enough, you knew that the currency was convertible. You didn't need a Tanzanian shilling. You went with your Kenyan shilling to Tanzania and you spent the same. They were on par. You went to Uganda, same. We had common services. The railway, the harbors, universities, postal services, the airlines. We had common services. We were ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
So, we had institutions that would help build commerce. We had institutions that would help the country build industries. It was called ICDC, Kenya Industrial Estates. For agriculture, we had agricultural finance. We had units. We had a structure that was supposed to help this country develop, and it was in place. Some of these institutions were older than our independence. We had them. Successive leaderships just eroded these systems.
Yeah.
You find that people who headed institutions like ICDC over time become owners of assets that were owned by ICDC, and you wonder, how? And then ICDC just fizzles and it's just a name. The mindset of very many people who were in positions of authority and independence, twofold. They wanted to demonstrate to the colonialists that they could run the country as Africans.
Yeah.
And they were actually nationalists. They thought of the welfare of the nation. And then when things started going wrong, they went very wrong.
Yeah.
Because people differed in ideology. There are those who say it wasn't ideology, but there were differences. And then the quest for political power among certain individuals. And suddenly that dream that was Kenya got dismantled.
Yeah.
And it has stayed dismantled. The time when there was a brief reprieve was when Kibaki became in. Kibaki was there in that first government as a very young man. Kibaki was brought into the country and into KANU by Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Kibaki saw all these things from the beginning. Kibaki worked with people like Obama's father in that ministry. All these sessional papers that these countries we speak of came to look at and to ask how we are doing these things. These are people who were there with others to create it. And that blueprint was clear. African governments, when there is a need to sort out wrong, there's a way they go about it. Kenyatta 1 was met with an issue of land. People who had been dispossessed and getting land. What did he do? He looked for government land. They created settlement schemes. People whose land had been taken were moved. They moved to Mpeketoni, they were moved to Njoro, they were moved to Eldoret, they were moved to Nyandarua. They were moved.
And to Muhoroni.
And to Muhoroni.
Yeah.
I live in Muhoroni. Okay? Now, when you look at that history, Moi comes into power. What do you see Moi doing? Many African governments, to stabilize their countries and to ensure they don't have a problem, they look for people who might actually be a problem and they reward them with government assets. Land distribution was for people who had been dispossessed. In the Moi era, land was given to people who might cause destabilization. That is why very many people who were in government authority ended up owning a lot of land. It was government land. And it was a time when our constitution allowed the president to give people land.
Yeah.
This issue of giving, it became a culture where people anticipated that when you're in government, you should be given.
Get.
Then you had the Ndegwa Commission, which now made things worse, because it authorized civil servants to do business. That's it. Conflict of interest out of the window. The person who is giving the business, because there is no entity in any country that is bigger than the government when it comes to giving businesses. So the moment you give, the people who are the office bearers and the protectors of these assets the leeway to also do business, what do you think is going to happen? So here we are today. And to change this thing slightly, because the importance of the role that religious organizations play in all this is important. In the 70s, it was clear. The Catholic Church, the Protestants, these people would hold the government to account, and they would tell the government, sorry, point blank, this is not right. Then we lost the path. Now, the religious institutions are a quasi-government. Yes. The units the government looks at and supports as their own, like education, religious organizations are involved. They support the government process very well. Healthcare, they are right in there. Financial institutions, if you look at the 2019 census, 87% of Kenyans are Christians. Okay? That is a population that is huge. So when you find somebody who is constantly talking to church leaders, that's somebody who understands that that is an audience that you need to speak to.
Yeah.
Now, the leadership within the church and the role they play, given that they have a captive audience every weekend, and this audience goes there because they listen to that leadership. They actually listen and they pay heed. They are a massive influence. Then comes the role that they play, because they have a role. You're talking about a check and balance that the legislature, that the parliament is supposed to. The church has an equally strong role in doing precisely that. Now, my question is, when you look at what's happening, what role is the church playing? If it was an imam, I would have asked the question of Islam. But because we have a Christian, I have to ask the question, because what is this role that they're playing? Because that role is mandated. It is not by choice. You must.
Yeah.
Reverend, over to you.
Wow, very good analysis. If I was somewhere, I would have clapped for you or said a big amen to,
All right.
to what you have just
All
said.
the people say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Yes, that history reminds me of the role that has been played by NCCK and the way that voice has been silenced at some time, or there are moves to silence that role. In the 80s and 90s, when NCCK would make statements, and the clergy from the Catholic, the clergy from the NCCK member churches would make their voice heard and understood, there were attempts to scuttle the church.
Yes,
And
to muzzle these individuals.
And to muzzle these individuals. And some paid the ultimate.
They died.
You know that.
Yes.
And that happened. You remember the creation, I would mention it here, the creation of EAK, the Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, was not that they wanted it. It was something that was given to them by force, by fire, by removing two key denominations from NCCK that time, the Baptist Church and the AIC Church, so that our voice is silenced, is muzzled, our voice is curtailed. And that happened. We are seeing a repeat of that today, where some other institutions are being created and called umbrella bodies of the church. How is it an umbrella body of all the umbrella bodies? And nobody consulted NCCK, nobody consulted EAK, nobody consulted OIC. How is it that somebody chooses to run with other people from the religious sector and leaving the already existing traditional religious institutions? How is it that when issues are raised from these known institutions, they are swept under the carpet,
Yes.
as if nobody has talked? Our role is still clear. We are still playing that role. We will never stop playing it because it is God-given. It is not given by any other person. It has been there in all our religions, and in the Christian religion and in the Judaism. When the kings went haywire,
Yes.
the prophets were there. And remember, it was first the judges who ruled, then the prophets, then kings came. So the process is very clear that we are not here to fight with one another. We are here to complement one another so that we can complete the task.
Yeah.
But back to where our motion is, it is as a result of corruption.
Yes.
You are saying that we are 87%.
According to
And
2019
somebody knows,
census, yes.
and somebody knows
Yes.
that power.
Yes.
And that is why, from the local level to the national level, the politicians would run to where the Christians are, because we remain
44 million.
because we remain the majority.
We are.
Out of the 44 million,
Yes.
NCCK commands 20, and Catholics command a big number also, and the evangelicals also command a big number of those 27 million. So what are we saying? We are saying, yes, we are a constituency, but when corruption is there, then corruption will eat what services and the services that these people are supposed to get. In the hospitals, hakuna dawa, tax imeenda juu. What would you do? Somebody comes to you and you are hungry, and they give you unga. What do they expect? They expect that you sing their praises. You sing their praises, you sing their song. And somebody who is hungry will start with their stomach first. So corrupting their values is also corruption. Corrupting their values by giving them something that they need at that moment. I look at the story of Isaac and his two sons. If you remember that story, you said you are a staunch Christian for many years. You remember when Esau
And Jacob.
and Jacob comes with something
And took away the blessings of his house.
from a patriarch in the Bible. What was it?
Corruption.
So corruption can really corrupt.
And Jacob is known as the deceiver.
And now Jacob is known as the deceiver. And look at what happened. So corruption is deception, corruption is killing, corruption is cancer, corruption is something that we have to look at the root cause. And the root cause is Kenyans. If we have that mindset that things can change, then things will change.
Things will definitely
If
change.
we have that mindset that we have to live by it, then again things will not change. He mentioned the public service, that when the public servants are doing the right thing, things go right.
They do. In fact,
They
the Kibaki era demonstrates this well,
Yeah.
that the majority of Kenyans are willing to do right.
Yeah.
But they need the leadership. When the leadership supports it,
Yeah.
people do right.
People do right.
Believe me, they will actually do what needs to be done. And in fact, the indication that things are wrong and what is demonstrated on a daily basis, if you look at the industry called the border industry,
Yeah.
just about the most unruly lot of people you can ever come across. They do not know anything about
traffic rules.
Nothing.
Even their self-care, they know nothing about it.
They are many, and they keep increasing. If they are the testimony of who we are, we have a really serious problem.
True story.
Yeah. We have. I think we are addressing their plight the wrong way,
Yes.
because you go to every hospital now, you have a wing for border
Accident
victims.
Yes, they do.
Instead of training them on road safety and decorum on the road,
We are cracking down them.
we have built a what?
There's a ward that is
Award for
every
them.
hospital. There's a ward specifically
Can you imagine?
to treat the orthopedic problems of.
And how many people have they eliminated on the road?
Where?
Either they
Wise up,
knocked
yeah.
them, because you see, you are driving on the road,
Mm.
as you put it, and this is pure corruption. There is a police officer there,
And you can see the police officer.
and the police officer is the one who has stopped you. So you have been stopped. Border comes, and why were you stopped? So that a child passes, so that a lady passes, or a pedestrian passes. Then the border hits that person on there. You stop so that this person can
Pass.
pass. Corruption will kill us, my friend.
Reverend, imagine we've come to the end of the show.
That
But
quickly.
imagine,
Oh.
1 hour imeisha tu hivyo haraka haraka.
Yeah.
But before I let you go, perhaps I want us to talk about Patanishi Trainers and Mediation Center. What is this about?
Oh, this is something close to my chest. You can even see the badge here.
Yes.
Patanishi Trainers and Mediation Center
Right.
was created with an aim of raising ADR. ADR is Alternative Dispute
Dispute.
Resolution mediators. Because there are so many cases in court that can be handled outside the court. And under my department in my church,
Yes.
which is Justice, Peace, Reconciliation and Creation Care, we have that thematic area called reconciliation. Why can't people reconcile? This is the body that we use now, recognized by the judiciary of Kenya, to train mediators.
Okay.
I'm glad that when I came here, I sold the idea to one of your staff here, a very junior staff here, and we talked at length. And I told her we can even offer you some kind of concession. We can give you some partial scholarship so that we train you. Today, as I'm here, I even have her certificate, letter of attestation, letter of recommendation, ID, and a badge for mediation.
Wow.
We train people. We also realize that many trainers just charge you a lot, which you are not supposed to be charged.
Okay.
Because if you aim at empowering the community and you aim at quality assurance, then you should charge reasonably.
Okay.
As we were talking about corruption, corruption can also be in the mind. When somebody thinks that I'm the only one in the sector, so let me charge, hefty amounts.
Fees, yeah.
We as a church, we don't charge that much.
Okay.
We offer this as a service so that we train mediators.
All right. So where can we find you?
You can find us on Twitter. You can also find us on WhatsApp. You can find us on all these handles that we have in the social media.
Yeah.
You will find us Patanishi Trainers.
Yes.
And you will hear us. You will see us. We started a class yesterday, which is online. And that class has started.
Yeah.
We train people for the whole of this month.
Okay.
And then we graduate them.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Reverend, for coming through. This is where we come to an end as far as our conversation is concerned. That is Reverend Dr. Elias Otieno Agola. He is the chairman, National Council of Churches of Kenya. We're just talking about corruption, words versus action. As always, thank you for the wisdom.
0725 708
Right.
780.
All right, sir.
0725 708
Yes.
780.
All right.
You will be met by our team
Yes.
who will handle you.
Aye.
Thank you.
Sawa sawa, Reverend.
Asanteni sana.
Karibu.